Yo, good morning. What's up, people? All right, so today is gonna be a little different. It's gonna be I'm gonna be a little shorter, but so now I'm gonna get to what I think death is and where you go and things like that. But today is just I'm just gonna show you my basis of it without getting too in depth. I had some think tanks, and a couple of people said don't get too much into math because a lot of people don't understand in-depth math that way, and I get it. So I try to simplify everything as much as possible. And the only reason I'm using math and physics right now, like I said, is just for a base. And then in a couple of days, I will go ahead and correlate what I found that's in the Bible, in the Quran, in the Torah, Hinduism, Buddhism, that correlates with everything that I found in physics and math. And these are real scriptures. I have them all. I mean, I've done my research, so I'm gonna briefly just show you the whiteboard of what I wrote and different graphs. So let's go check it out. All right, here we go. So I'm going to be using different type of mathematics. Um, Nothing mainly of anything. So basically, it's going to be discrete, calculus, and some linear algebra, but a lot of physics. Well, not too much, but mostly physics. So discrete mathematics, the study of mathematics structures that are discrete rather than linear. Linear, which is the most famous to us, as in the way we live and think. This is the most common linear function, f of x and y. You remember those? Like I said, I'm not going to make this to a math class, but we all remember x and y. So the slope, we all remember those. So when it comes to linear way of thinking of living, remember we're two-dimensional people. We're two-dimensional creatures. There's so many limitations physically that we have. Example, we can't look up and down at the same time. We can't look back and forth at the same time. We can't look left and right at the same time. There's only so much that we can physically do. Okay, so linear thinking, way of living, born, career and family, or super career, family, you get rich or whatever. Then you die, go to heaven. That's it. And these are physical things. Okay? So physically, yes, we have limitations that we can't do anything. Okay? But when you die, guess what? There's no physical. So while everybody's working on their body, nobody's working on their mind, their soul. Nobody's working on their spirit. Because it's the reason God made the bodies flawed. Not supposed to be perfect. You can't work the body into perfection. You think you can, but you can't. Now, your mind and your soul can be perfected. That could be perfect. But you have to work at it. And that's where we're no longer doing that. But that's going to be some other videos when we get into the religion part of it. But back to this. So this is a nonlinear function. This is about the basis of it as you can get. So, this is a constant. So let's actually go up here. Wavelength, theta, you have frequency. So U in mathematics mean union, meaning everything. Okay, so this is included everything. Wavelengths, light, sound, everything. So let me come down here. Sorry about that. All right. So this function, limit n as in just the base. So n to infinity. So unlike this, two-dimensional, this has unlimited dimensions, okay? Meaning unlimited options unlimited results, unlimited conclusions. So the difference between this and this is spiritual. This is your spirit. This is your soul. So you know how you could physically be in one place, but your mind be somewhere else? Your mind and your soul can go any and everywhere it needs to and wants to. When you're in trouble, when you're trapped, I'm sure a lot of you haven't, but let's say you're trapped. You hear stories, people trapped under a car, physically. And to get out of their pain, they take their mind elsewhere. Meditation. No limits. Okay? So let me get to this. So energy can't be created nor destroyed, only transferred. Okay? So I'm going to skip over just for a second. So energy. So we all know energy, mass, the work done, the load. But when it comes to your soul and when it comes to the metaphysical, your thoughts, they travel, but they don't have mass. Okay? So how do things travel? They travel through waves, light waves, sound waves. So people think light is a straight line. No. Everything moves, oscillation. Everything moves in a wave. Okay? So I'm going to get to this in 1 second. I'm going to come over here for 1 second. So an object with zero mass, if it's to exist, that means it can never be at rest. I.e. light, i.e. your soul, your spirit. So your soul can never be at rest because that's energy. Okay? So how can an object move without momentum nor mass? It can, but it moves into a wave. When you die, it just means the physical mass dies, but your soul energy transfers on, but to where? Okay? So that's going to be in some other videos, but so break it down here. Light waves. And this is going back to our physical limitations. So light waves that are less than 400 nanometers or more than 700 nanometers are invisible to us. But they exist. Same thing with sound. A dog whistle. We can't hear it because we have limitations. As human beings, we have limitations. We can't hear it, but we know it exists. So when you hear that voice in your head, hey, don't do this, don't do that, that voice is usually you. It's almost, so I always tell people, God gave everybody different gifts. So when you see some of these artists, even like cartoons and movies, and they have these visions to entertain you, but they have some truth to it. You remember the cartoons back in the days when they used to have the devil on one shoulder and the angel on one shoulder, but they all look like you. So that's you. What I'm thinking that's you in a different. So when you're praying to better yourself, to better other people. But when you're praying, that's your voice. You're basically talking to yourself. So when you hear that voice in your head, hey, don't go in that room. Hey, don't go there. Don't go here. That's you directing you from a mistake that you probably already made. That's why when you go to some places, you have deja vu. You're like, why do I feel like I've been here? You probably have. You probably died there. You know, rest in peace, my boy Kevin, but I give an example. In college, my boy hit me up, yo, let's go to this party. And I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. I'm like, hey, let me do some stuff first, and I'm going to hit you up, and, we just roll out. Something in my head say, hey, man, something don't feel right. Just stay at the dorm and chill. So I hit him back, hey, man, I'm gonna just lay it down for the day. I'm going to just chill at the, do some studying. He like, cool, hit you up tomorrow. His tomorrow never came. At that party, he got shot and murdered. And if I was there, I would have definitely, that would have been my fate. And so at that point, I was like, man, what are the odds? But we all had those kind of experiences, that voice in our head. So I feel in one of these realms, one of these parallel universes, one of these realms, I said, hey, let's go to that party. And I was also probably gone. But, and I remember, I do have scriptures in the Bible, Torah, Quran, all this, that talks about rebirth. That talks about second chances, third chances, infinite chances. So I got a chance to go back and make a better decision. Now but like I said, I'll get more into that later. But I want to stick to the math part of it. So again, when it comes to 2-dimensional limits, physical, we're always thinking physical. But once you can get out of thinking of physical and think of metaphysical, when you start thinking about different parallels, different planes. I give an example. When you clap, you hear the sound, but you can't grab it, you can't smell it, you can't taste it, you can't see it, but you know it's there. And the reason why you can't see it is because this is your range of what you can see. So if sound falls less than 400 nanometers or higher than 700, you can't see it, but it's there. So when there's a soul floating around you, when you have a loved one, they're there, but they're just out of range. And I feel that they have that option. They're going back to correct their own mistakes if they lived a humble life. Now, once you know you made a mistake, you can fix it. Now, and it said it's in the Bible too. If you get murdered, you become a martyr. There you get some type of depending on what you were doing, but you get some type of when I say God and universe, I mean the same thing. So you get like some leeway, but you're allowed to, so when you confess your sins or your mistakes, you get to correct them. But but that's, like I said, again, we're going a little bit too far, but I want to go. So I'm basically just focusing on these, okay? So 2-dimensional linear thinking, born, career, die, heaven. Too many limitations. No limitations. You born all over again, to almost like a video game. You do something, die, correct it, figure out what you did wrong, correct it, until you get to that God level. Because God makes no mistakes. So once you figure out all your mistakes and you correct them, you get to that God level. Hence, made us in his image. All right, people. So I'll let you look at this again. And just understand we all have physical limitations. But when you die, your soul has no limitations. Oh, let me answer this real fast. Your soul correlates through a wave. So when you die, it goes off to a wave. Where to? That's the next question that we're going to try to tackle. All right, people. Peace. Make sure you subscribe.